Start meditating now. My name is Barry Long. I am here to teach you meditation. I'm assuming you've not meditated before, but if you have, I'm sure you'll find much that is helpful in what follows. Meditation is discovering what you are now, not what you have been or think you are, but the truth of yourself. I will teach you as you listen, but you must listen with your whole attention. I speak to the part of you that is most true and most real. This tape will help you to enter meditation in stages, gradually going deeper. I shall explain why you need to meditate. Then I'll tell you a little about the process so you'll understand what you're endeavoring to do. In a few minutes' time, we will start meditating with me leading you into it step by step. Occasionally, we shall pause for a moment as we continue the meditation in silence. We shall cover a lot of ground in the next hour or so. Meditation is a process of self-unfoldment and can't be rushed. It must be actually done, bit by bit. Feel free to stop the tape from time to time and continue your meditation in silence. Play the tape over and over. You'll be surprised how often you hear something new relevant to your advancing state of development. Use what I say as often as you're able. The more attention you give, the more you'll be able to enter the state of meditation with me. Why do you need to meditate? To know yourself. Why do you need to know yourself? Because what you are at present, what you think you are, is not yourself. That's why you, and most people, are never really content for long. You know unconsciously you are not yourself. Consequently, you often feel insecure, uncertain, and even afraid. Inside you is a wonderful, helpful, loving, and uniquely creative being. You know it, at least sometimes. But that loving, creative you is very difficult to externalize and bring into the world. Too often your finest intentions and feelings are misinterpreted and misunderstood. So again you become discontented and unhappy with yourself. We start off life with such splendid dreams and intentions. We're all innocent to begin with. Do we really lose that innocence? No. We just allow it to become covered over. The world has a way of making the worst out of each of us, turning us into what we once were not. We gather the world. Layer by layer we silt ourselves up and are enclosed by a subtle and insidious accretion. It's this dark, false side of ourselves we've allowed to build up unconsciously over the years that is the trouble. This meditation is the tunnel back through that gloom. And the light at the end of the tunnel that's pulling you on, and that brought you to this moment, is your true self, the real person you've become separated from. Meditation, the way I teach it, is the way to discover the truth of yourself. If you don't want to know the truth by starting to face up to yourself, starting to know yourself as you really are, you are wasting your time. But if you are searching for something that's been missing from your life, something indefinable, I suggest you are now on the way to finding it. Meditation is the art of entering your own unconscious. Your unconscious, where your true self lies, is inside your body. It is a place of extraordinary stillness and creativity. When you reach it, and many times on the way, you will know that learning to meditate was the most important move you ever made. Everything you are is inside your body. But penetrating to the level of the unconscious is not that easy, because the unconscious is 3 levels down. If you imagine an underground car park, the top level, street level, is the conscious, where you are now. Second level is the subconscious, where all your thoughts come from. And third level is the unconscious. So going down, you have to pass through the subconscious to get to the unconscious. And the subconscious, which is a sort of guardian to the lower level, is going to do all it can to deflect and distract you by throwing up a screen of thoughts. To meditate successfully, all unnecessary thinking eventually has to stop. By unnecessary thinking, I mean aimless use of the memory. For example, when you're sitting doing nothing, the mind tends to wander all over the place. Not because you need to think about those particular topics, but because the mind, when not concentrated, has got into the wandering habit, and you probably never thought to try to stop it. Stopping thinking is a gradual process and not an easy one. But you can make a start now towards it. Each time you meditate, accept that for the short period you are meditating, not one thought that comes into your mind, no matter how pressing, is valid. You don't have to think about your worldly affairs now. Paying the rent, posting a letter, or what train you've got to catch. If you feel you do, stop for a while, think about it, and then come back. Finally, however, you will have to master the subtle unconscious thinker which has been controlling your mind for so long without your realizing it. And when you do, you'll immediately sail through into the amazing stillness and wideness of the unconscious, which is your own true self. If you're thinking or wanting to argue that it's impossible to stop thinking, please don't. It has been said to me so many times before. And so many times have I heard and seen the amazement of people who started out just like you and burst suddenly into that incredible stillness and space within themselves. For yourself, you should know that I have penetrated the unconscious to its deepest level. I am in the unconscious now. If I weren't there, I would be giving you second-hand information and instructions I'd picked up from someone else, and not be guiding you into it. For in this tape, I am not just informing you of the techniques of meditation. Using the energy of my discovered unconscious, I am actually taking you down at this moment into yourself, where you have never consciously been before. You will understand this more and more as you continue to listen, and by regular meditation go deeper into yourself. Before we actually start meditating, let us look at the resources at our disposal. First, there is your body. That is the part you are going to enter. Then you have this. Look at your hand. What you are using to look with is your attention. Your attention is the other part of you, the instrument for entering the body. Where your attention is at any time is where you are as a perceiving individual. For 99.9% of our lives, our attention is centered on the external reality, the world. That is, it is going out of our body away from the inner reality. By meditating, we are deliberately attempting to break down that imbalance in ourselves. We are endeavoring to turn our attention inward, into the body where the subconscious and deeper unconscious realities are located. These have been greatly neglected, and that neglect shows in man's lopsided and unsatisfying materialistic view of life and his preoccupation with progress that is mostly all external and unrelated to his inner self. After millions of evolutionary years of focusing on the external world, we are going to be kicking a monolithic habit. So don't be discouraged if thoughts keep distracting your attention. However, even in the early stages, you'll get some brief moments of stillness and thoughtlessness, and that will convince you that what you are attempting is well worthwhile. Each time discursive thought stops, you'll feel more yourself, more steady, more in control. It's important to remember that if you do feel you've had an unusual inner experience, or for an instant that the mind did stop, not to doubt it. It will be true, but you mustn't think about it. Just accept it, and it will happen again and again, with a little more conviction each time. So let's start meditating now. First, sit erect, feet together on the floor unless you're accustomed to sitting cross-legged Eastern style. Don't loll. You're likely to go to sleep. Remember, we go to sleep each night by withdrawing into our subconscious, and any attempt to enter it consciously as we are doing now is likely to be taken by the body as a command to go to sleep. So you're sitting up straight. Now close your eyes. You're doing this to stop going out of your eyes. We want you, your attention, inside. So we close the main portholes of escape. I would ask you to close your ears too, if that were possible. But I'll have more to say about that later. So you're sitting upright with your eyes closed. Now you've got to take some breaths, special kind of breaths. Don't do anything yet. When I tell you, I want you to breathe out first and empty your lungs. In this meditation, you don't breathe in on old air. And then I want you to breathe in by filling your tummy with air, or what appears to be your tummy. This is diaphragmic breathing. Babies breathe this way naturally. Let me show you first. Keep your eyes closed. I will exaggerate the sound so you can follow me. First, I breathe out slowly. Now I breathe in. As slowly as I can. I do not use my chest. I fill my tummy. As soon as the chest starts to rise, I stop. I now hold the breath for a few seconds, and then I breathe out as slowly as I can. Each time before beginning meditation, take 3 of these breaths as rhythmically as possible. Try a practice one now on your own. Emptying the lungs first, breathing into the tummy without letting the chest rise, holding it, and then breathing slowly out. On the in-breath, when we do it together, I would like you to do something else. When you've filled your lungs and are holding your breath, push the air down using the muscles of the back and tummy. This is similar to how women bear down in childbirth. Try a practice breath and push down now. Don't use your chest to breathe in. At first, you might find you can't hold your breath very long, but that will improve. Because what you're doing in filling the tummy and bearing down is opening up the lower part of your lungs. This area normally gets very little aeration. You are utilizing more lung area, revitalizing your lungs as a whole. This will help your entire respiratory system. At the same time, you'll be oxygenating your blood. The extra oxygen makes some people feel a bit dizzy sometimes. I emphasize that you must not distress your body in any of this. No forcing, no overdoing. Moderation is best. The effect on your meditation of breathing like this is to quieten the body. The body, through the mind, tends to get tense in any situation in which something new or difficult is being tackled. You breathe more quickly and shallowly, leaving yourself short of air and your blood short of oxygen. The result is restlessness of mind and body, and the subconscious starts furiously throwing up thoughts, giving you no chance of getting into yourself. Now together, let's try the first breath, taking the timing from me. Breathe out, emptying the lungs. Now breathe in. As the chest starts to rise, stop. Hold it. Now, still holding the breath, push down and move the air around for 3 or 4 seconds, and then release it as slowly as you can. Once you get used to this on your own, you can hold the air longer, but not so as to overdo it and distress your body. Let's do a couple more. Breathe out first. In. Stop as the chest begins to rise. Hold. Push down. Use your tummy muscles to push the air around. Now release, breathing out as slowly as you can. Again, once more. Out. In. Slowly. Hold. Push down, around. Out, slowly. I shall leave it to you while we're meditating now, to breathe from the diaphragm as often as you need to. That should be every 4 to 5 minutes to start with. The difficulty is remembering. Distraction due to thinking is a sure sign that you need some deep breaths. So you're sitting erect, eyes closed, and you've breathed. Now give me your attention. I snap my fingers. Your attention immediately goes to the sound. It is that attention, your attention, the same attention you used to look at your hand earlier, that you perceive with. Now I want you to put that attention within you. Center it at the point between the eyebrows. Take your time. Relax. You're looking into the back of the eyelids and up a bit. Found it? As you get settled, you'll become aware of a grainy mass of black and light pinpoints. Take your time. Relax. Keep your mind centered on that point between the eyebrows. If you're a natural meditator, your attention will lock in there like a key, and you'll feel an instant rightness or release of tension. But most of us are not natural meditators, and we have to work a bit harder to get going. So remember to always start with that point between the eyebrows. Gather yourself there. If you're not able to find it yet, don't worry. You will with practice. Next, direct your attention onto the energy inside your hands. I repeat, inside your hands. What do you feel? Try to avoid visualizing external hands. Perceive the energy of the hands from within. What does it feel like? A slight tingling, right? What you could describe as a mild form of pins and needles? Got it? Take your time. Relax. Take a diaphragmic breath, breathing out and inhaling slowly. In the same way as you felt the energy in your hands, we are now going to go around your body with your attention. Start with the lips. These are a very sensitive part of the body, and we don't have to stimulate them with kissing to put the energy there. It's always there. Feel it? Very fine, isn't it? While you're focusing on the lips, I want you to do something else. Deliberately lift the corners of your mouth as though you were about to smile, a sort of Mona Lisa smile. And try to keep it there. This is very important. People, when they meditate, tend to look unduly serious, and a bit down in the mouth. Perhaps it's the feeling of concentration that does it. But rightly done, meditation is a joyous, relaxing and restoring activity. By lifting your lips a little, you actually set in motion the lighter energy on your face. This very fine energy tends to rise up naturally towards the eyes. And it is this which makes a real smile. And as we all know, a smile is a lightening of the attention, or tension. Next, focus the attention on the tip of the nose. There's distinct feeling there. Feel it? A tingling? A pulsing? You name it for yourself. You see? You're starting to come alive already. Now feel your feet. Keep the corners of the lips up. Toes. Ankles. Are you getting the idea? Put the attention on the knees. The small of the back. Shoulders. Back of the head. You are developing another sense, an inner sense. Even your tongue is alive with its own special feeling. Feel it? I call this inner way of perceiving apperception. That is to distinguish it from normal perception, which uses the external senses. You must familiarize yourself apperceptively with your body as often as you can remember to do it. Don't wait until you're sitting in meditation. This is something you can practice at any time of the day. Normally, we apperceive only when we have a pain. Pain is not just a warning device, but an attempt by the organism to draw our attention inward. But man has lost the knack of using pain in this constructive way. The next step in your meditation is to learn to release the tension inside your body. First, I'm going to demonstrate in your experience the cause of most of that tension. Open your eyes and look at something. You'd probably say that the way you are looking at that object now is pretty normal. Well, if that's normal, you're unsuspectingly building up a lot of tension. Tomorrow's headache, irritability or restlessness. I want you to see for yourself just how much unnecessary energy is going out through your eyes. Keeping your eyes open, pull back from behind the eyes. Withdraw the effort. the concentrated attention of looking. Smile. That will help. Just the corners of the mouth, though. Relax your eyes. Do you feel the difference? You are endeavouring to take the tension out of looking. Pull back until you can see out of the corners of your eyes as well as ahead. Look peripherally. Blink, and blink regularly. That will help you to cut off the output and to pull back. You now have a wider, more relaxed vision. You are seeing without looking.